What the F is going on the Valley when Kristen Doute is the voice of reason? Let's talk about it.
Wait, before we get started, I have a question for you.
Do you have an unhinged or unserious take about reality TV? I want to hear about it. Go to channelsurfnetwork.com, click Hot Take Hotline, and leave me a voice note or send me an email with your most unserious or unhinged, unapologetic opinion about any reality TV show, no matter when it aired. Again, it's channelsurfnetwork.com. Click Hot Take Hotline, and I'm going to either read your email or play your voice note on my YouTube channel. Head there right now. Let me know how you feel. I want to react to it, and I'll let you know if I agree. Talk to you soon.
Okay, back to the video.
If you haven't already, make sure you check out season 2, episode 5 of The Valley on Bravo, because this recap is going to contain spoilers. Even though I don't know how much of a spoiler it is, like we know these people are all batshit crazy. They all have a bunch of relationship drama. It gets exposed in every episode. There's really no spoiler tag needed, but just in case you haven't seen it yet, this is your warning. I want to say off the top, this show does not need Jax Taylor. I think we've gone now 3 episodes without him, and I have been just as entertained as I would be if he was on the show. I know Bravo seems to love him, but the audience is really turning on Jax because of how much his bad behavior is escalating. So I don't think Bravo needs to continue to shove him down our throats. I think Brittany would do okay on the show without Jax, because we'll still get a glimpse of the drama that she's going through with him without actually having to witness it ourselves with him on the screens. The Jesse and Michelle show continues on the Valley, and I want to say, I said this on my TikTok, I don't like either of them. Something about Michelle makes me really uncomfortable whenever she is on my screen. I know a lot of people make fun of the way that she speaks. I'm not going to do that, because I was reading that she is Persian and Mexican and she had an accent, and I think she speaks in that slow robotic tone because she's trying to mask her accent. And to that I say, girl, let the accent fly. I think that would actually contribute to people softening to her a little more if she just spoke in a normal cadence. Viewers have been saying if they're Team Jesse or Team Michelle. I say, why are we not just team nobody? There is this phenomenon that's happening that if you like one side, you have to automatically hate the opposing side. And in this case, I just say, I don't like either one of them. Jesse is clearly an attention whore. Michelle is clearly there to antagonize him. Like, asking people if they were willing to vote him out of a rental that he paid for was crazy to me. Great TV, but the fact that she was crying because she genuinely thought people would be on her side just shows how insane these people are. And then she goes on the trip just to have an attitude with him. And my thing is, if you hate him that much, if you dislike being around him that much, just stay home. So I guess in terms of them creating really good reality TV, they're doing a good job at that, because the way they blow up at each other is crazy. This past episode, her exposing that a gay man was sending him money on his birthday, which, what if the gay man was just one of his friends? Like, let's not be homophobic, Michelle. But also exposing that he spent all of their money. Now, when we met Jesse and Michelle, Jesse wanted to come off as if they were really doing it big. He had the Capri party because they always go to Capri, Italy. This season, he rolled up in a new BMW. He's always talking about these massive dinners that he likes to have, $20,000 dinners, $5,000 bottles of wine. And we find out in this episode that he has spent all of their money and he is essentially broke. That is a story of so many people in Hollywood. It is a very fake it till you make it town. I mean, everybody is fake it till you make it these days, but in LA, it is especially heinous. I think both Michelle and Jesse are trying to make each other jealous, and it is backfiring on the both of them. Jesse and this girl that he's so caught in love with, Michelle and her suspicious boyfriend with the really crazy eyes. Both of them are just rebounding, and they should just take this time to be single and get through their divorce. I do appreciate that he apologized for spreading the rumor about Michelle being an escort, but that just goes to show they are just in this to hurt each other, because why would you say it in the first place if you knew it was a lie? I don't know. The two of these people are toxic. It's crazy to think that they were ever in a happy marriage, because it doesn't seem like these two have ever had a happy moment together. Nia and Danny are an interesting couple to me, because Nia is a pageant queen, which means by any means necessary, she is going to protect her image and the image of her family. But the veneer is cracking in this perfect image that she has curated with her and Danny, because we're finding out more and more how much of a creep Danny is when he drinks. He has a drinking problem, and I feel like it's being swept under the rug, or at least it was until this episode. Jasmine calls him Dark Side Danny, and I think that's the perfect name for someone who can be so lighthearted quiet and seemingly kind when they're sober, and then when they drink, they become a completely different person. I don't know if Nia realizes how much of an issue that is, but it is a much bigger problem than I think she is willing to admit. When your husband gets drunk and he becomes handsy and people know that that is his MO, he needs help and you need to be more vocal about it. It was interesting that Brittany broke the fourth wall this episode when she said all of her stuff is out. She has to be exposed while some of her co-stars get to skate by. It's very reminiscent of the last episode of VPR when Lala did her confessional monologue and she was talking about how much Ariana and Tom hid their issues from the camera while everybody else's were being exposed. And then when all the shit hit the fan, Ariana didn't want to confront it. She didn't really want to film with anybody else. And I agree with that take. When you're on reality TV, I know there are some things that you want to protect, but you sign up for everything to essentially be exposed. And I am on the fence about people's darkest moments being recorded for entertainment purposes. That is the name of the game, unfortunately, but that is a bigger conversation that we should probably have as a fandom. Essentially, Brittany's life is a mess, and she knows that the people around her are also living messy lives, and she just wants them to join her hot mess party. What I want to say about Janet is this. The first season was awful for her. I think for whatever reason, this season, there are so many other people who are worse, Jesse and Michelle, I'm looking at you, that Janet actually isn't coming off as bad. They also gave her a little bit of a redemption arc when they showed her at her happy place, which is Dave and Buster's. And so I don't have much to say about Janet this season. I can see that the same Janet is still there, but her antics aren't as extravagant because there are so many other things going on right now. Taking it back to Jax for a second, if you don't follow me on TikTok, you should, but I made a video about how he is one of the worst cases of arrested development that we've seen on reality TV, and I still stand by that. The reason that Jax does not need to be on the show anymore is because his behavior is escalating to the point where it could get darker than I think it needs to be for this show. He already had an instance where he flipped the table, it hit Brittany, her leg was bruised, now he can't be around his son alone. I think that's a line that we don't want to cross. I don't want to see this situation get worse on camera, and so for that reason, like I said at the beginning, I think Jax needs to be off the show. But what do you guys think so far about this season of The Valley? Are you team Jesse? Are you team Michelle? Are you team everybody is trash like I am? Are you surprised that Kristen Doute is the most sane out of all of these people? If you notice, I didn't have much to say about her in this episode because Kristen has just been living her life with Luke. Now, she's still in the mix a little bit, but she is no longer crazy Kristen, at least not this season. Let me know what you think of this season, and we'll talk soon. Bye.